Fiacre!
Hi guys, welcome. It's the Betway Beat brought to you by SoccerBeat, and today we're talking Kaizer Chiefs, and I've got Michael Morton, who didn't start with Kaizer Chiefs, he started with the Orlando Pirates, but he's got a lot to say about Kaizer Chiefs. How are you, Mike?
Very, very good, Peter. Yeah, very good.
And guys, we've got an exceptionally different show today. In modern football, data is critical. You don't play in a big league overseas unless you understand, as a player, you understand the data. Coaches don't exist without data. Data is critical. I can't even tell you how important, even in the big teams overseas, the guys are playing 9, 10, 11 years of age. They are playing on data, where to put the ball, where's the best position to receive a ball, and so on and so forth. And South Africa, we're a little bit behind in data, but we sat down with Optajabu, one of the top data companies in football in South Africa, and we asked them, we obviously understand the game as ex-players. Mike's currently a very new ex-player, may get back to playing again, but I'm not his agent. We asked them, look at the kind of points that we feel, and in particular Kaizer Chiefs, and we're going to do it with Pirates and Sundowns as well next, but looking at Kaizer Chiefs right now, has Nabi done the right things, or is he getting it wrong? Because they're ninth on the league, 3 wins, 3 draws, 3 losses, only on 12 points. That's 12 points behind Mamelodi Sundowns, a 0-goal difference, but terrible goals against column. So something's wrong. But what's he doing right? Is it something he can put right, or is it his fault? So we looked at the numbers, and the first thing we looked at is where are the goals coming from? Where are the chances coming from? And it's very clear. And Mike, we've got this thing called expected threat, is what Optajabu told us about. And maybe you just want to explain to the guys the concept of expected threat when a player gets the ball.
Yeah, so basically what the guys do with the expected threats is that they place a value on different zones of the pitch. Obviously, your own box being not that valuable in terms of creating chances, but then the opponent's box being extremely valuable. The middle of the pitch. So if you move the ball from one midfielder to another midfielder, it's maybe allocated 0.1 of a point. But if you move the ball from the midfielder into the box and create a chance or get the ball into the box, that's now allocated a value of 1, for example. So the ratio obviously is much higher when you move it into a more dangerous area. That's a very basic explanation of expected threat.
Correct. But what it means in kind of layman football terms is your player who's creating the most expected threats is one of your most valuable players, because obviously when he's on the ball, he's creating chances for others. And at the top of the list is Kaletso Makhalwa of Sekhukhune United. Top numbers. Second on the list, though, is Gaston Sirino of Kaizer Chiefs. So Chiefs have got a player there who's second on the list in the country of expected threats. In other words, when he's on the ball, whether he's making a pass or carrying the ball forward, he's creating opportunities that are expected to be threatful for the opposition goal. So Sirino is a top man there, and Chiefs have got to look after him as a player. When he's not playing, the expected threat drops considerably, and we've seen that. Now we go to another bit of data which opens this picture up even greater. It's called big chances created. So in other words, when this player gets the ball, he creates a big chance. Over and above the expected threat, he creates a big chance. In other words, an open goal, basically a tap in for the striker, or a through ball that is really one-on-one with the keeper and he should score. And there again, incidentally, Makhalwa, and he's an ex-Sundowns player, maybe they shouldn't have let him go, Leeds. He creates a big chance every 76 minutes. And in the season so far, he's created 9 big chances that should have been goals. 9. It's incredible. Every 76 minutes. Second, though, in the whole country, in the whole PSL, is Sirino. Every 65 minutes, he creates a big chance. And he's created 7 of them this season so far. And remember, he hasn't played in all the games. So, Mike, you brought a good point about actual fact he's number 1. I mean, you want to elaborate?
Yeah, I mean, if it comes down to the fact that Sirino creates a big chance every 65 minutes, and Michael was obviously every 76 minutes. So his time between big chances created is actually much less. So if he plays a game with extra time, every 130 minutes he creates 2 big chances. So yeah, his actual time between big chances is much shorter. So I'd say that Sirino is actually the most dangerous player in terms of creating big chances.
So Kaizer Chiefs, one fact: Sirino is without a doubt your most dangerous player going forward. And yes, there seems to be discipline problems there. There may be a little problem between him and the coach. He doesn't train as often, but he was like that at Sundowns as well. And my advice, I don't know what you think, Mike, and what would you say if the coach said this about one of your teammates? But my advice to Kaizer Chiefs is you got to get him fit, and you've got to get him in a good frame of mind, and you've got to get him on that pitch, even if it means you pandering to him to a certain extent. Because when Sirino plays for Kaizer Chiefs, the data shows clearly Kaizer Chiefs are way more dangerous when he's on the field because of the threats he creates and the big chances he creates. So for my book, Nabe, Kaizer Chiefs, pander to his whims, keep him in the team. Is that a good policy, Mike? Would you as a player, how would you react to that though?
Yeah, no, I mean, there are players that sometimes you just have to let them do what they want to do. If they want to cheat, you let them cheat. I mean, Roger Desai used to say to us in the team, your big players, he said, some guys carry the piano, but there's only one guy who can play the piano. So you let everyone else carry the piano, do all the hard work, and let Sirino play the piano.
Well, Sirino can certainly play the piano. So, and if you take that number further, by the way, it's quite interesting, is that if you look at it, Yusuf Mart is the third best, incidentally. He's created a big chance every 147 minutes, so not won a game, over won a game, but he's the third highest in the league with 5, and he's joint there with Mofa King of Pirates, who is won every 156 minutes. So Mofa King says, well, interesting enough, in the top 20 players in the league of creating an expected threat, Pirates have 3, Chiefs have got 2, Sundowns don't have any. But I would expect, Mike, that's because they rotate the squad and their chances are created by rotate.
Yeah.
So the question is, then, it's clear Sirino's the big threat, and it's clear that Mart is also contributing as well, not to the same certain extent. So Chiefs have got to get Sirino on that field. But from an attacking point of view, it looks like, if you watch Chiefs play, and the reason why the fans are pro-Nabi to a great extent, despite the poor form recently, that they see a big improvement in Chiefs this season versus last season. And if you look at just on a simple fact, those big chances, because the game is about goals and big chances. That what happens in the box is what counts. Big chances and goals, converting big chances into goals, but also big chances of excitement. Last season, excuse my glasses, guys, but last season, the entire season, Pule Mbodi was the top creator of golden chances with 4. 1 every 480 minutes. Yusuf Mart came second with 3, 1 every 658 minutes. And Ashley Dupree was third, was also 3, but in 545 minutes. Poor. But if you look at Chiefs, this after 9 games only, in other words, 1/3 of the season, Shaba is third with already created 3 chances in a third of the season with three big goal-scoring chances versus the highest of 4 last year, and that's in 229 minutes, in way less time. So if he carries on like that on his own, he'll create another 9, which is over double of everybody else last season. Mart is already on 5 on a third of the way through the season, and that's more than he did 3 last season. Sirino is on 7. That means if he continues, he'll be on 21. If you put the whole lot together from last season, it doesn't even go near him. So it's clear that Kaizer Chiefs are a way more attacking side under Nabi, and they're creating way more chances. Already done that within a third of the season than the whole of last season. So I think that's 10 out of 10 to Nabi going forward. Mike, what do you think?
Yeah, it's hard to argue against the numbers. I mean, when it's a pretty scary fact that Chiefs only their best play in terms of a threat last season created 4 big chances. Sirino's almost doubled that in 1/3 of the way through the season. So, yeah, it's obvious that there's progress there. It's obvious that Nabi's made some changes that have turned him into a better side. It's maybe not materializing necessarily into points on the table, but if you look at, and we'll chat about it a little bit later in the show, I think that they're the top in the league in terms of shots taken and shots on target. I mean, we'll dive a bit into those numbers as well, but there's definitely positive things to be said about the way Nabi's set up this Chiefs team.
So if you look at another stat, because they're creating the chances, big chances, and they're creating threats as well. The problem is they're not converting. And you cannot tell me, I was a striker in my day, and that's a long time ago, but I can tell you right now, Nabi can't coach Javaro to score goals. Ranga is the 3rd in the league for highest misses. And he's a hard-working player and so on and so forth. But when you're playing for a team like Chiefs, Pirates, Sundowns, big teams all over the world, your strikers have to be natural finishers. And it's very simple, guys. If Chiefs don't sign a natural striker, you can forget it. All those threats and all those big chances are going to go wasted, and that team's just going to feel despondent. The confidence will go. So I don't know, Mike. I don't know where they're going to get that big striker, but they've got to get somebody who can give them 15 goals a season because they're making the chances, and that's not.
Yeah, I mean,
the club.
yeah. Peter, if you're Nabi right now and you going to Kaizer Jr. with these stats, you're showing him what you're creating. And I mean, what are you saying to Kaizer Jr.? Saying, give me some support here, give me a 15 goal a season striker, and I turn your team into a top 3 team just based off those stats. If you start converting half of the chances created, Chiefs is a top 3 team. That's the reality. If you convert those chances, that's where Chiefs would be right now.
Great. I'll tell you one of the reasons why why Kaizer Jr. may not be giving him the money, and we can talk about that after the break. See you shortly.
Later, hola.
All right, here we go.
Ko Betway ba tshepela hore o tshwantse o betjhe ka tsela e nepahetseng. Ka nako e nngwe ho tlamehile hore o ikhule hanyane. Ka nako tse ding
O ska leka go busha tse di lahlegileng.
Nakusasa kuse olunye usuku.
Dlala ngokusemandleni wakho.
Ge o tlhoka thuso go gona.
hopola, bet responsibly.
Welcome back, guys. And it's Mike Morton here with me. We're on the Betway Beat, brought to you by SoccerBeat, and we're talking Chiefs. And guys, don't forget to like, to subscribe, and to comment and share, and to hit that button. We hear it when you hit the button, so don't forget to hit the button. If you don't hit the button, I'm going to hear you. Right. We've spoken about the attacking, and it's clear Sirino is the man to go, is the go-to man going forward, and it's clear that they're missing too many chances. They're going to need a striker. Let's talk. Let's just add to that, incidentally, before we move forward onto defending. Mike, they've taken more shots. Kaizer Chiefs have taken more shots at goal than any team in the league. They've taken so far in a third of the season 149 shots at goal, more than anybody. Is that a good stat or a bad stat?
Look, when you say 149 shots, they're also the top of the list for the shots on target as well. So it's not like they're just shooting the ball all over the place. They are still getting shots on target, 49. But for me, I would argue back and say it's not a great stat because none of those are translating into goals. They're not scoring the most goals. Sundowns are nowhere near in terms of the shots taken at goal, but they're the top goal scorers in the league because they take more care with their chances. They build up. They get a bit more intricate play, playing to Ribeiro, playing to Reynolds, and preparing their chances, whereas Chiefs are maybe shooting from all over the place, like shotgun approach. You just take a shot and hope for the best. So I mean, it is positive signs, maybe a mentality thing. They are looking to score goals, looking to shoot more often. That might be an instruction from Nabi, but yeah, it's a stat that you look at and you think, okay, well, my team's creating a lot of chances. Maybe it's exciting for the fans and it's a better brand of football, but it's not translating into goals just yet.
Well, 1 in 3 shots on target, I think, for a professional team is not that good. Just taking shots for the sake of taking shots is giving away possession, by the way. So you must remember, every time a shot's not on target, you're giving away possession. So I don't think we don't have to dwell on the stat. I agree with you. I think it shows they've got an attacking mindset, but I think it needs more maturity and more smart attacking as opposed to just wild attacking, as you said earlier, because you do lose possession if you don't hit the target, and you can't just shoot from anywhere. But let's go on to probably the biggest issue here, which everybody talks about, is Chiefs' defense. And a lot of people criticize Nabi on the defensive side of the game. And this is quite interesting. The shots they've faced, 81 shots on their goal. That is the second lowest in the league. The shots on target they've faced is 23. That's the second lowest in the league. So the shots that have been taken at them are either being defended well by a goalkeeper or back four, or have gone wide. But they're the second best in the league, which doesn't sound right for a team that has given away so many goals. That's the first point. The second point I want to give you, and then I'd like to hear what you've got to say, especially this is your area of expertise. You know, you've been a defender and a holding midfielder. So they've faced 81 shots, but that's the second lowest in the league. But they've conceded the worst, 13 in the league. That means it takes every 6.2 shots taken at Kaizer Chiefs turns into a goal. That's the worst in the league. So you've got to take shots at Kaizer Chiefs because they can't stop you scoring. They've got the worst. They're the worst at shots at goal. They're one of the lowest. But they've got the highest goals against them. And every 6.2 shots at goal, a goal scored against them. Versus Sundowns, it takes 21.5 shots at goal for Sundowns to have a goal against them. It takes 18.7 shots at goal for Pirates to get a goal against them. Maruma Gallants are better at it. Galaxy's better at it. Amazulu's been better at it. The teams at bottom of the log. So this is clearly a problem, Mike. You as a defender, and I mean, you're a thinking defender, you're a coaching type player. What do you think? Coach's fault? Defender's fault?
If I'm looking at the stat, and then this is coming from a midfielder, holding midfielder or defender, I'm saying to my goalkeeper behind me, I'm saying, look, I'm stopping the balls from getting to you. Like, we're conceding the second least amount of chances on our goal. So I'm keeping the ball away from your goal. But every time that you have to do some work, you're letting us down. That's the way I'd be looking at the stat. I'd be thinking, hold on, coach, you don't want the team to have chances on our goal. That's my job as a defender. So now we have the second least amount of chances against us. But when there eventually is a shot on our goal, which is inevitable in football, you're never going to go 90 minutes without conceding a shot on your goal. But when they are shooting and eventually getting it through to our goalkeeper, the guys behind us are not doing the job. That would be the way I'd be looking at that stat.
Let me give the viewers and yourself an interesting stat. The bottom three keepers for save percentage in the league, the bottom three keepers, third bottom at 33% save percentage in the league is Clipper from TS Galaxy. The second worst in the league on 42%, big jump down, is Ntwari of Kaizer Chiefs. And the lowest in the league at 50% is Brandon Peterson of Kaizer Chiefs. So Kaizer Chiefs, from shots saved percentage in the league for keepers, the two worst are Kaizer Chiefs, two goalkeepers who played most of the games. Boomer's just got into the team recently. Now that maybe says your point is correct, but I'm going to defend the keepers to a certain extent. But I mean, what would you say to that? If you turn around to the coach, you've got a good point there.
Yeah, well, maybe maybe Nabi has the access to the same stats that we have, and that's why they've made the choice to go with Bavuma now. And I mean, yeah, it's the stats don't lie again. When you see that and your goalkeepers have the worst save percentage in the league, you now go directly against that to Sundowns, who have 21. It takes 21 shots to score against Rushwin. So, like, if you take that versus 6 goals to score against your goalkeeper versus 21 shots, there's a massive difference there, Peter.
And I agree with you, because all the teams I played in, and as a striker, you don't feel this as much as a defender would. When you know your goalkeeper's got your back, that even when someone goes past him, past you, he'll be there to come to their feet, or nothing better than a cross has come in, and you're not sure if you can get it, and suddenly you just your keeper, and out he comes and he plucks it out there, throws it to the fullback, and you're attacking a Kune type style, Brian Beloy, Kune, and so on and so forth. Or as you say, Runway and Cheney.
I mean, Peter, when we come to that, like you say, shots faced. I mean, Chiefs has faced 81 shots, one of the best in the league. So Sundowns are pretty close there with 86, but 13 goals conceded versus 4. I mean, the same amount of chances on your goal, but there's a big disparity there. 9 goal difference in the goals that are going in.
I know a lot of fans thought Kune is over, and Kune made lots of mistakes and hardly played many games in the last 3 years. But if I was Kune, when I was looking for a new contract to play, I would have showed them these stats and I would come back to them now and say, listen, do you not want me to have a look at you? But I'm kidding there as well. I think that, Kune may be past his best as well. But surely they've got to sign a striker and a goalkeeper. And a goalkeeper, an experienced keeper. Ntwari may be one for the future, but they've got to sign somebody who they know. Like the chipper keeper, he's a Nigerian international. He will certainly, he's got a big presence. I don't think he's one of the best there is, but they need somebody to stop them and score them. But the problem with that, Mike, relegated teams can't score goals and give goals away. The championship teams don't. Championship teams aren't a team that miss chances and then give it away on the other end. Both sink in those two places. These are two big asks they got to get. And you don't get them in this transfer window that easily. Is it this another season Chiefs got to wait for another 2 signings? But I'm going to ask you something else as well, though. What do you think, first of all? This transfer window, do you think they can get this? It's not that easy.
Yeah, no, January is never easy, notoriously difficult to pick up quality players. The teams that are struggling don't want to release their players, and the teams that are at the top obviously don't want to sell their best players either. So you're only getting free agents, or you're getting guys who are either an issue, injury prone. Yeah, you're never getting guys in their peak and in their prime unless you're going to be paying well above market value. January is notoriously difficult. So everyone's saying, yeah, give Nabi what he wants in January, but yeah, it's going to be a bloodbath then when you try to really go out and make a big difference to your squad in January.
Yeah. Right. We're going to have a short ad break and then come back on a summary. And I want to come back to you defending the keeper slightly. I want to hear what you've got to say. See you shortly. Welcome back, guys. Mike Morton and myself, unpacking Kaizer Chiefs data. And don't forget to like a lot, subscribe, tell your friends about us, share it, comment, and ring the bell. You can ring my bell. Right. Mike, two things. One, I would, in defense of the goalkeepers, a lot of goals are coming from crosses. And the goal against Galaxy recently, cross from the right, 6-yard box, keeper's ball probably as well, but certainly Miguel was there to clear it, watch the ball go across him. So I'm not sure about the centre-back pairing when it comes to winning headers in the box. I'm not, and Dortley super on the ground, great positional play, looks really like Beckenbauer on the ball, but I'm not sure about him in the air. But, so that's in slight defense of the goalkeepers, but a top keeper, and I give you this, a top keeper makes his centre-backs look better. And there's certainly that confidence from the keeper is not flowing throughout the team. So I give you that. But I want to ask you this question. Nabi says he wants players. These stats clearly say he needs a goalkeeper and he needs a striker. The question I'm going to ask you, which you can come back to now, is will that make the difference for Chiefs and Nabi? That's the first thing, because otherwise why do it? But who should be signing those players, the club or Nabi? Because my question would be if who signed Ntwari, because he hasn't delivered. If that was the coach's signing, if I was a club, I'd say, listen, we're conceding goals. We got you 3 defenders and a goalkeeper, and we're still conceding goals. So I don't have confidence in you getting us the right striker. Sirino, I think, came before. I don't think Nabi had anything to do with it. But if the club signed the 3 defenders and the goalkeeper, then Nabi's got every right to say, listen, I want to get my striker and I want to get my goalkeeper. How would you play this now if you were Nabi?
Yeah, you got if I'm Nabi and I'm looking at these stats and I'm seeing what I'm seeing, we have what I think sorted out the issues at the back in terms of a structure. We're conceding a few chances, but it's going in the back of the net. I'm going straight into the boss and saying, give me a new keeper. I think there's good keepers in South Africa, good keepers in our league. Guys I'll be looking at, guys like Sage Stevens, Stellan Bosch probably don't want me to say that, but I mean, I look at them as well. He's got great stats. One of the more consistent keepers in the league. Obviously a little bit older, but right now for Nabi, I'm saying just get me something that can sort out my team conceding goals. And then again, a striker. I'm creating some of the most chances in the league as well. The most chances in the league. I'm taking the most shots on goal, but nothing's going in the back of the net. What's the story there? So give me a striker, get me a goalkeeper, and I get you into the top 3, the top 4. That's the pitch I'm going within when I'm Nabi. And I'm saying, if you give me those 2 things, I'm taking this document that we've got right here. I've got the numbers to back it up. Now give me the money. And let me go to town and buy you 2 big players, and that'll turn our club around. That's the way I'd be looking at this stuff right now.
Do you reckon the rest of the team is good enough?
Sure, that's a loaded question. I think they're good enough to get back into the top 3 or top 4 if they get 2 major signings, a goalkeeper and a striker, I think you get top 4 again.
It seems strange, by the way, the player that all the fans want them to sign, Apollos, will be playing in the same position as their best player. And would it work with Sirino being at 10? Who knows? But that's I think a bigger priority than Apollos is a striker and a goalkeeper, as you say. And Chiefs fans, let us know if you agree with Mike. Mike's talking from the stats, and to me, the stats say the same thing as Mike. You need a striker, and you need a goalkeeper, and you're in the top 3. To me, it's a no-brainer. But who do you get? Sage Stevens is Mike's recommendation. I cannot see Stelly's letting him go, other than for mega money, and I don't know if Chiefs are going to play mega money. But there are goalkeepers out there overseas, and there are obviously strikers out there overseas. Whether they can get them and whether their overseas contingent is full, I can't think of it right now. But certainly, I agree with you. That's what needs to be done. Fans, let us know what you think and who you think they should sign, if any. We'll be doing this again. Mike, you want to say goodbye to the guys?
Yeah, thanks, Peter. That was awesome. Again, please hit the bell notification, guys, so you get a reminder every single time we drop a video. We are going to be doing a lot more work with Opta Jabu, so if you want to know anything about stats and any details, please hit us in the comments what kind of stats that you guys want and what data you want us to dive into. Pirates will be next. Sundowns, we want to dive into all the numbers, give you what you want. And we'll see you guys soon.
100%. Look forward to it. Cheers, guys.
Fiacre!